So I'm going to show you my method doing this as a gnome, sunken temple, 72-ish pull. The standard is all over, so just a couple things that just combined from a few of the videos. Done quite a few of these, probably 40-ish now. Started in here at 52, now I'm 57, 58. At the beginning there, you can go right or left. I started doing left at like 52. Pretty much primarily I tried both ways, and for some reason I like left better, and then I just started doing right again, and it really doesn't matter. The normal spot, which is like here, doesn't really work for gnomes. I haven't at least seen it. The two spots I know of, you stand on this little circle and then angle about like that and jump. You'll get that. I would practice this lower level because you have the chance of pulling some of these, and if you do, you can just run over here and reset. The other spot is right here. Just jump up there. If you pull anything, make sure you run all the way up. Try to line aside any casters. The casters will reset though. It's important to note that, because if you just like stand up here and they're still casting, just spam your shields until you have no mana. Ice block if you need to, but they'll eventually reset with everybody else. So after that, this is all pretty standard. This ledge is kind of, I think, just weird to get used to. What I started doing is just running straight into it and then holding strafe. And just whichever direction I'm going, I'm looking that way. So now I'm looking this way, and then I'm going to turn my camera with my mouse that way. That part right there is, for some reason, for like the first 10-15 runs, is just a pain. I'm not aggroing these mobs, but at lower levels you will, pretty much every time, which doesn't matter because this is a reset spot, so they'll eventually go out of combat. I'll show you, I haven't seen anyone mention it in the video yet, but I'll show you where there's a reset spot there too. If I can. Pull that, you're going to need to hit him twice so he doesn't reset. Usually just counterspell. Stand here until the emote goes off. See the timer. Somebody much smarter than myself. Some good timing on when these mobs are going to reset. When it says leaving combat, you're pretty free to go. They'll reset around here, the dragons will. If you aggro anything that's coming, those dragons, they'll all come to you. They're basically social at this point. If you're lower level, or if you're higher level, just stay here, run all the way to about here and stop. If you're lower level, you can come here, do this jump, which I just missed, and then you can just come this way. That way you won't social anything. Your goal here is to wait until this is around 30 seconds, and that's because you don't want to wait too long because they'll reset, and if you go too quick, they'll actually, I'll show you up here. So you can reset on this wall here. So if you fall off, do that, jump back up. If not that, then run back to that corner. So if you go too soon and you put them in draw distance, there'll be a bunch resetting on this corner if you just run straight back. So I'm kind of close. But I mean, still plenty of time. I would let the blizzard hit at least twice. I don't run any nature resist. I never have since 52. It's taking an abnormal amount of damage, but that's okay. You got options. I don't really use health pots, or pots at all, I should say. Lately I've just been needing one mana gem, and sometimes, probably 50% of the time, evocate. So if you need to use, like I'll just use a health pot here. You get these health pots and these mana pots, the graders from, or superior health and then greater mana from the mobs in here, so you'll end up with a lot. 5 or 10. Do have some like an emergency superior that I can use. So stand here. This is pretty much all stuff. Once they go by, get out of your ice block. This part can get kind of finicky. I stand here, make sure you see where I'm standing on this ledge. You can be halfway on that ledge, and these casters can cast on you at that point. So just make sure that you're all the way on the ledge. When you jump up here, move to this corner, because if I'll show you next time. If you just stand like here, some of the casters will still be able to reach you. So they'll all reset. And then when they turn the corner, you'll see they'll stop and they'll start casting. So you have to be all the way in this corner to line of sight them. You don't have to stay there just long enough for them to get around the corner until you can drop back down. So you can drop down wherever, just move around. Also, another thing I noticed is when they go like 40% health, they don't cast anymore. So once they get slowed, if they're the only things left, you can just drop down and blizzard them until they're dead. Little whelps are not very hard. I have noticed also sometimes you'll jump up there and they'll still come towards you. If that's ever the case, just strafe this way until they reset. I've never actually had them chase me all the way. I'm sure that's possible. I've been lucky enough for how it's happened to me. I'll try to show you the ledge, like halfway on the ledge this time. When I first started this, man, it was a lot more critical, but now I just think so if you're like this, sometimes it'll stop you. You got to be all the way on the ledge like that. I've noticed that if you run out of angle, it's pretty much you get it every time. If you try to run out of dead on, I feel like maybe that's when it's doing it. Yeah, so you'll be like this, they can still cast on you. You've got to move all the way over. I'm putting my blizzard like right there, and if there's any stragglers you want to do it early, if there's not, I usually start it when they're underneath. It's blizzard circle, just pretty standard for farming, but if you do it a little bit early, some of them will run through it, and then you get a short duration on your blizzard. This build is kind of crap because of these stupid vines, but I didn't see enough. It's just kind of annoying. Clear casts, if you're like me, you always want to use your clear casts. I've had more bad than good. They didn't reset, so I had to run along the wall. I've had more bad than good, kind of use it. I'll just show you. Those things will stand there and cast if you try to use it. If you wait and drop down, sometimes you won't have enough time. Like clear cast will expire, and they'll still like not be fully back here yet. So it's kind of pointless. It just kind of messes up your groove in this pool. It's not as useful as a lot of the other boosts and runs. So my advice would be, if you can use it, great. If you can't, just don't worry about it. There's really no mana issues here once you get it down. I don't really use, the only time I ever use rank 1 is during the pull, if there's any stragglers. Other than that, other than that, I don't use rank 1. Also, another issue I was having was I was letting them go too long without getting tapped. So, after 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever, they basically won't give you XP. They'll give you like 2 XP instead of hundreds. So just try to keep them stacked up. If you're having stacking issues, you find a way to restack them. So I'm getting 1 XP from some of these, so they must have been stragglers or who knows. Kind kind of surprised though, because I feel like they were all in a pretty good stack, but I missed a couple. Because if you're kiting too fast, the fast ones will go farther around the corner, and then they won't quite make it back to your hit again on the next round. So you just gotta be sure. So I think all these can be just open world blizzarded now, because once they're slow, they don't seem to use their nature damage spell. That's it. So that's no nature resist. Pretty much just standard eagle owl gear, a couple blues. I got some magister stuff just because I'm probably going to be messing around on this character. Once I get to 60, doing some boost stuff, some gold for TBC. I've got one epic. I don't know how many runs. I don't know if this tells me. Yeah, I guess it does. So I have about 42 runs. Some of those are probably overlap, like coming in and out twice. But I've had 42 runs. I've had one epic. It was the druid staff. Not worth much. I haven't seen edge masters or anything yet. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Gnome's a little bit different, but as you can see, it's not difficult. I did see another gnome video that was doing it. His strat was fine. He was basically doing something more like this. Like he was running up this. So you can see how you get stuck on that ledge if you run straight at it. So if I pulled them like this, they're going to be casting on me. Oh, maybe not like that. So you'll get stuck on it like halfway. And even if you run over, it doesn't work. But if you're all the way over like this, it's fine. And then you're line of sighting this corner. So you can see like I can't cast on there. And that's where I can cast on. We'll get used to that placement. But anyway, the guy was using nature protection potions and basically just jumping up this. He was getting like 2, maybe 3 blizzards out in here, and he'd run along the edge. I would just prefer not to take damage, because if you hit some bad RNG or your NR potion ran out mid-pull or something, like that would just not be fun. So my runs take, you can probably see, some of these I've just obviously like AFKing or chatting or something. But my average runs are, if I'm running normal speed, anywhere from like 9 to 11 minutes normally. That's an errant one. I'm just running, back and forth and not stopping, taking breaks and stuff. 9 to 11 minutes. His are like 9-10 minutes, so a little bit faster. But like I said, I feel like this way's safer either way you're hitting a lockout. So yeah, if I missed anything or if you have any questions, let me know.